The Public Land Survey System developed out of the Land Ordinance of 1785. 22 years earlier, the Proclamation of 1763 had ended the French and Indian War, or the 7-Year War, granting to Britain the North American French territory west of the 13 British colonies. When the Revolutionary War ended in 1783, the Treaty of Paris, signed by the French, British, and American governments, ceded the land recently acquired from France by Britain to the United States. In compensation to soldiers for their service in the war, the American government wanted to distribute land to soldiers of the war, as well as to sell land as a way of raising money for the nation. This system continues to be the foundation of land ownership and transfer in the United States. British land added to the 13 colonies after the Treaty of Paris in 1783. This territory was previously held by France until the end of the French and Indian War in 1763, when the Proclamation of 1763 granted it to Britain. This territory comprised the United States until the Louisiana Purchase of 1803. Townships are 6 by 6 mile squares, each divided into 36 1 by 1 mile sections that make up a grid. Sections are numbered beginning in the northeast corner of the township in a boustrophedon pattern. Boustrophedon literally means like an ox plowing, though you would also likely be familiar with this pattern if you've ever mown a lawn. For our purposes, it simply means that the direction that sections are numbered in altering pattern, with each row from east to west one way, from west to east the other way, then from east to west, and so on. This pattern ensures that sections in numerically sequential order will be adjacent to one another. Section 5, 6, 7, and 8, for instance, are all adjacent to one another, even though they are in different rows. Township and range designation is used to identify townships and their subdivisions. In this format, you state the necessary information in the following order: township with direction, range with direction, section number, and principal meridian, abbreviated to T, R, S, and PM in order. In some situations, more context may be given. In these cases, you would use the following format: U.S. state name, principal meridian, township, range, and section, abbreviated in the same format as before. The township designates the location of the land parcel north or south of the baseline, while the range indicates its position east or west of the principal meridian. The section number identifies the specific section of the township in which the given parcel is found. Note that the principal meridian is not actually labeled with a PM, but is abbreviated to the initials of the principal meridian's name. There are 37 principal meridians in total, and all have unique names. For a list of these, see pmproject.org. The meridian we are dealing with today is called the Gila Salt River Meridian. Although most states involved in the Public Land Survey System follow the rules I've described here, there are some unique cases where they weren't or could not be followed exactly. One of the cases is Ohio, the first state to be mapped using the township and range system. At the time of Ohio's mapping, the Public Land Survey System had not been fully developed, and the government was mostly concerned with speed rather than accuracy, hoping to make the lands available for distribution quickly. For this reason, Ohio, along with Indiana, follow more idiosyncratic rules than the rest of the states surveyed later on. Although they differ from the exact guidelines used today, they are still considered authoritative. Each section is broken down further into 4 quadrants: a northeast quadrant, a northwest quadrant, a southeast quadrant, and a southwest quadrant. Each of these quadrants can be further broken down into their own northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest quadrant, and so on to get the level of specificity needed to identify a property. Located in the southeast corner of the Phoenix metropolitan area is Monument Hill, which sits beside the popular Phoenix International Raceway. Atop Monument Hill lies the initial point for the state of Arizona. The initial point splits the state into four quadrants. In the northeast quadrant, we find Phoenix and Flagstaff. In the northwest quadrant, we find Kingman. In the southwest quadrant, we find Yuma. And in the southeast quadrant, we find Tucson. In 1851, Monument Hill was used to establish the U.S.-Mexico boundary, which was agreed upon in the Treaty of Hidalgo-Guadalupe in 1848. The south side of the Gila and Salt Rivers served as the dividing line between the two countries. At that time, Monument Hill lay in Mexican territory. Monument Hill would later be used by John Clark in 1865 to establish the Township and Range grid system for the state of Arizona, officially known as the Public Land Survey System, used throughout the western part of the United States. The initial point consists of a principal meridian pointing north and south, which aligns with Avondale Boulevard, and a baseline, which points east and west, which aligns with Baseline Road. Baseline Road cuts across the entire Phoenix metropolitan area. Like most cities in the western United States, Phoenix, Arizona is based on a township and range grid. We are 1 mile north of Monument Hill, you see in the background there. I am standing at the intersection of Southern Avenue and Avondale Boulevard. This intersection demarcates the boundaries between different township and range grids. Township 2 north, range 1 west. Township 2 north, range 1 east. Township 1 north, range 1 east. Township 1 north, range 1 west.